I'll give you a clap, and we can go. Okay.
It's amazing in this digital age, there's still the clap.
I know.
Wow.
Old school.
Yes.
Well, I was having trouble remembering how many stories I've done. You've done nearly 800
Almost
episodes?
800, and yeah, it's daunting. And we've done so many episodes. At one point in the production of the show, I'd have that episode that we're working on memorized because we're going over it over and over again. But now with each new episode, it feels like a previous episode goes out and disappears. And now when I drive my kids to school, they're watching The Simpsons in the back seat and I'm listening to it as a radio show and I'm completely surprised. You know, I don't remember the plot, I don't remember the jokes.
There have been so many episodes you
so
forget.
I feel like I'm watching it like a real audience. You know, I go, oh, that's pretty funny. And then why is that funny? Oh, yes, I thought of that one.
What do you see the role of The Simpsons today after so many years?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, after 36 years, it's a long time. I did not expect the show to go on this long. I thought it was going to be a success, but I did not know that how that success was going to manifest itself, and I certainly didn't think we were going to be on the air after all these years. This is crazy. This is like some kind of dream. I don't know if it's a nightmare or the American dream. I don't know.
You could watch The Simpsons on so many different levels, and even if you don't understand this, you'll get that joke a few seconds later.
Yes, we try to like not just have straight lines. Like even the setups are kind of funny, and yeah, we try to do that.
And you just kind of keep packing more and more in?
Yeah, as much as possible. I mean, a lot of it comes out of the writer's room because they're working on these scripts really, really hard to make them as funny as possible. There's a competition among the writers, and there's also, you know, a glee when somebody else pitches a joke that doesn't get a laugh.
And does everyone want to make you laugh?
I'm one of them, but I'm a pretty easy laugh. Sometimes I'm a good laugher for the show, but sometimes I'm the disapproving school marm. You know, going, we can't do that. That's too crass or whatever.
You have two crass red lines?
Well, yeah, I don't know exactly what that line is. I just know that, yeah, we're probably not going to do fart jokes. Probably. They keep getting pitched. Because, by the way, the other thing is, if I don't like something, if I say, let's not do something in this area, guess what? 10 more jokes. They try.
What is your day-to-day involvement at this point with The Simpsons?
Well, I have the best job of all because I have two shows to work on. I have Simpsons and I have Futurama. So what I do is I tell The Simpsons I'm going over to Futurama, and I tell Futurama that I'm going over to The Simpsons, and then I just go to the beach.
Sounds pretty good. Are you kind of spiritual leader, or are you in there writing the jokes, changing, tweaking little things?
There are, there's a huge amount of scrutiny for the show. James L. Brooks, our leader in all of this, is definitely there, making sure that we keep the show full of heart and emotion, and everybody embraces it. And after the table read, we sit down and we go through and analyze the show. And it's not always more jokes, although jokes are pitched, but it's just like, are we on story? Are we on track, on character? There are so many cynical, negative cartoons out there already who are really, really good at what they do, and we can't beat them at their game. So we try to go the other way, and the show keeps its heart going, and that's a little unusual in some of the adult cartoons.
How many people are thinking of the jokes?
Oh, the jokes can come from anywhere, generally the writers, but not always. Sometimes somebody contributes a joke here and there, and of course the actors improvise a lot, and we slip that into the show. We generally get their improvisations at the table read. You know, we have the written script, and then they come and perform it in person, and it's the best show in town. If you're in town, you have to come to a Simpsons table read.
Where they're, for the first time, the actors are looking at the script?
Well, theoretically, they're supposed to have looked at it the night before, and their lines are underlined for them. But there are some actors, I sense that they have not read the script early.
But they still have
because they know the characters so well.
And that's when some new jokes will come up and the episode will take a different little twist?
There are certain actors on the show who are dependable on their ad-libs. Hank Azaria, who does so many characters, he's one of our master ad-libbers, as is Dan Castellaneta, and who's Homer. and but they all do. They all add whatever.
How do you keep things consistent? You have new writers, you have new people working with you, but presumably you want to have a similar feel.
We do have new writers and new animators from time to time, but the show is so comfortable for everybody who works on it that people tend not to leave. The executive producer, showrunner, Matt Selman, he's the new guy. He's only been there 28 years.
How important is political satire? I mean, you want messages to come from most of the episodes?
There's an undercurrent of political satire in the show, but we try not to be preachy. We try not to, rub it in. Occasionally we do, but my favorite thing is if we can make a joke that promotes our point of view, our shared point of view, and that we can make people who completely disagree with us politically laugh. That's the winner.
You have a liberal leaning.
We do have a liberal leaning, especially me.
Unapologetically so.
Of course. Yes.
But you want conservatives to be fans of the...
Well, the show is a conservative show in that it's like a regular family sitcom, and the Simpsons are a fun-loving, all-American family who go to church and pray and say grace, and they're a good family. And so yes, I hope people who might disagree with us politically would enjoy the show. In fact, I know that's true.
A lot has been made of the predictions.
Yes.
Over these nearly 800 episodes, you all have predicted things, the Trump presidency.
Well, yes. Now, there are some things that we inadvertently predicted, and I think that comes from having done so many episodes that we're bound to get something right. And we got to admit that the world right now is completely insane. So, any outlandish joke we make might end up coming true.
Just by a sheer chance of the numbers of
Just the
topics.
sheer chance of the numbers. And the other thing is we come up with the most absurd jokes that we can, and then because the world is so nuts, they do come true, because that's the way the world is right now. Now, we do predict some stuff, but there are also things on the internet that seem to be Simpsons predictions, but are not. People use AI to have the Simpsons present at any disaster, any sinking of a boat or bridge collapse or whatever. Somehow the Simpsons are there, and people say, "Oh, look, they predicted it." We did not. People just do it on their own.
You raise AI as an issue with fraud.
Right.
How much of an issue do you think AI is as you think about the future of your industry?
I can't predict what's going to happen with AI. I do know that so far AI does not have a sense of humor. So I think that we're in for a while.
Do you worry about the artistry, about your animators, if a computer can do it just as well or becomes able to do it?
Well, so far everything is okay. I once had a talk with Jules Pfeiffer, the great cartoonist who just died recently. And he said, with every advance in technology comes a decline in quality. And that always stuck with me. So though we have advanced with The Simpsons in the kind of use of advanced technology and computers and digital inking and painting and so on, and every time we do make an advance, we have to adjust the show so that it looks like the way the show used to be, which was completely hand-drawn. To me, the delight of animation is the hand-drawn gesture and the curved line and all that stuff, which, as much as I love computer animated movies, and I do, I like them all, and my kids love them, I love that feeling of hand-drawnness.
So as technology advances, you try to find ways to embrace the technology but still make it look like the way it used to?
We try to disguise the advanced technology and make it look old-fashioned, yes.
Give me an example. A computer gets better at doing something and you mess it up?
Well, perfection is death in animation, in my opinion. So you want this there's a little bit of a clumsiness to traditional animation, and that clunkiness we try to keep alive in the show.
What do you think the secret to the show is?
I think the secret of the show is that it's a collaboration of all sorts of comedy styles. There's silly slapstick and physical mayhem and jokes that little kids laugh at. And then there are sophisticated jokes where we have references to great works of literature and films and so on, music that kids aren't going to get. It's going to sail right over their heads. And it doesn't matter. The traditional idea of television is that you don't want to confuse anybody, you don't want to offend grandma, but it doesn't matter. To me, The Simpsons is like one of the great kinds of family entertainment in that there's something for everybody in there. And also something to offend everybody.
There are these layers.
Yes.
The Simpsons is now part of a multi-billion-dollar enterprise, if you include all the merchandising and products and stuffed animals.
Oh, yes, thank you.
But you've had an outsider view, but you're very much an insider.
Yeah, I'm kind of an underground cartoonist who sold out, you know.
How do you keep that kind of outsider
Well,
perspective?
what we try to do is avoid what's called in the industry label slap, which you just stick the characters on the side of a box or whatever, and that's it. So each little piece of merchandise and toys and games and video games and all the rest of that stuff also tells a story and has a joke in it.
Do you think animation is still thought of as something that's just for kids?
Yes.
Why?
Well, traditionally, animation has been for kids. In fact, one of the things that we were able to do with The Simpsons is convey to the powers that be that, no, this is not a kid's show, this is an adult show. And that was the best decision we made, because at one point it was, is it a kid show or is it an adult show? And we said, no, let's make it an adult show, because with kids entertainment, you have to have so many boundaries. There's so many careful things that you don't want to do. And with The Simpsons and adult animation in general, those are exploded. And so we get to do a lot more than you might do with a kid's show. And the great thing is, kids love it anyway.
If you see Simpsons as a show aimed toward adults and it's been around for so long, why do you think this sense is that animation is still something for kids?
Well, to me, the thing about animation is that for some reason, it appeals to kids automatically. It's one of the first things that kids react to is animation. Kids really like that, the bright colors and the flashy movements and all that stuff. So I think historically it has been aimed at children. And you know, what's great now is that there's such a wide range of creative expression in animation that even though it's still sort of seen as for kids, there's a lot of adult stuff.
As I've been doing the research and all of this, I've been interested in how much of the Simpsons family it comes from your own story, the names of the Simpsons themselves.
That's right. When I first started the show, I thought it would be an amusing gesture to name the characters after my own family. So Homer is the name of my actual father, Homer. My mother's name is really Marge. I have two sisters, Lisa and Maggie. I have a grandfather named Abe. And then, you know, am I Bart? You know, well, yeah. I didn't name him Matt because I'm not going to do that to myself.
So you are partially Bart.
A little Bart. Bart's also my brother Mark, who, by the way, I was afraid of. So I thought, you know, if I name Bart Mark, my real brother, like, he might not like it. He might give me a hard time.
Over the years, did your family appreciate having these shared names?
What's great? What's great is that my family really loved the show and were delighted by it. Then when the show got really big, I think they started to have mixed feelings about it. My father, Homer, loved the show, except he did not like it whenever Homer was mean to Marge. He did not like that at all. And he would call me up and say, Homer shouldn't have done that. And I go, what? And he goes, well, the Simpsons car broke down in the desert and Marge had to carry the tire back to town while the Simpsons sat in the shade. And my dad said, Homer shouldn't have done that. And I said, Dad, Homer strangles his kid. And he says, yeah, I'm fine with that.
I don't know that I was allowed to watch The Simpsons when I was young.
You know, I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot of people were not allowed to watch the show when they were kids, and I'm kind of delighted by that. I don't think the show is for everybody. I think that people should should keep an eye on what their kids watch, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. But it's good for us because at school, kids tell other kids about it. So if you don't, so you didn't get to watch it, but you heard about it. People kind of have eased up on us now. But back in the beginning, there was some complaints that The Simpsons was bad for America and that it caused kids to be disrespectful to their parents. And it didn't help that we did a Bart Simpson underachiever t-shirt. And he said, "And proud of it, man." So that shirt was banned. But my attitude was, Bart Simpson didn't call himself an underachiever. He was labeled an underachiever, and I thought the appropriate reaction to that is, "And proud of it, man." We also did a Lisa Simpson overachiever t-shirt, but she said, "Damn, I'm good," and the shirt was also banned as well. So we couldn't win, and yet we won in the long run.
Are there times you feel like you've crossed a line you shouldn't have? You've gone too far, you've been too pushy?
Well, that's going too far is the nature of comedy. You push it, you go too far, and then you come back. And the show is flexible enough, so yeah, we probably pushed the line a few times, but it's okay. If you don't like this joke, wait till the next one.
I was interested to read about the number of kids you have.
Oh yeah, a lot of kids.
You love a family drama.
Well, it depends on how you how you count them. But I have, in one counting, I have 8 kids, and then I have 8 kids, 12 and under, and then I have a couple of adult kids, and an adult stepdaughter with 2 kids. It's like having my own daycare center, except they never leave.
It seems like a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's really fun. It's really fun, and people used to have much larger families all over the place, and that's sort of gone out of our culture. And I got to tell you, it's a blast. For me to be here and be away from my kids is really hard. I can't wait to get home and get up way too early and give them a ride to school. I love it. It's the greatest. And you know what's funny is that many of my friends say, "He's insane." Right? And that's what your friends say. And like the other friends say, "I'm not saying it, but your other friends are saying he's insane."
For having so many kids. Your kids watch The Simpsons?
They do. They watch The Simpsons only on the way to school. Like we put a limit. But yes, they're in the back seat watching while I listen to it as a radio show.
Are they all fans? Do you have any?
They better be. Yeah, they're fans.
It must be interesting to look back and say, "Wow, I had this kind of impact on an industry, and this kind of relevance for so long."
For me, the delight comes not in the achievement, but in the journey, in making the stuff and being entertained by brilliant actors and funny writers. The impact, the success, the awards and all that stuff, that's nice, but it's not why I do it, and it's not why the people I work with do it. I think we really love what we do.
You're renewed until season 40.
Right.
How long does this keep going, and how long do you keep going with it?
Well, I was talking with Matt Selman, the showrunner, earlier today, and we agreed that we don't want to know the last episode. That we want it to as Matt Selman said, we want to be shot in the back of the head, execution style, and that's how we go out. And the show continues.